Good morning, everyone. Just so you know, I'm Emma, the English teacher. So I want to take this time to personally acknowledge just how much effort and hard work it takes for staff members and for people to learn a second language. And all my students who've been pushing themselves to reach their goals. I just really want to acknowledge them. And just a little bit of English language learning info. Did you know it takes approximately 120 classroom hours to move from one level in the Common European Framework Reference? So from level A1 beginner to A2 elementary, or from B1 pre-intermediate to B2 intermediate, or from B2 intermediate to C1 advanced. It takes 120 hours of classroom learning. So that's a lot of work for everyone who has been progressing in their second language. And good job to all of you who are on your own personal language learning journeys. And I think it's just a great reminder to think of all the personal effort, the work and staff who really embrace the challenge of learning a second language put in. One of the most important aspects of our lessons is increasing students' motivation to study outside of class. The students who really have made the most improvement in their language level have been the students who've really continued for multiple sessions and put in the time outside of class with homework, self-study, using the bulletin boards, using Schoology. And I'd just like to take a moment to applaud the following students and say good job to those for all their hard work. And there are a few throughout the time that I've been working at Lush that I'd just like to give a special shout out to. First, that's Eva Bojko, and I do apologize if I get some of the surnames wrong. I mostly just work on first name basis, so I apologize ahead of time if I get any of the surnames wrong. So first of all, I'd like to give a good congratulations to Eva Bojko in GIFs, who she started in intermediate and currently she's at upper intermediate and advanced. Also Barbara Zank, also who was in GIFs and now is in EB. She started in pre-intermediate and she's currently at upper intermediate and advanced. And through her hard work, she gained the confidence to interview for higher positions and to switch departments. Anna Kostroviec in GIFs department started in intermediate, currently at upper intermediate, really hardworking. Over in filling, we have Eliseo Ramirez Roman, who started in high intermediate and is currently at advanced. Rosalia Carmen, also in filling, started in high intermediate, currently at advanced. Jesus Pombo, same high intermediate, moved up to advanced. Anna Mendoca, she started in pre-intermediate and has moved her way all the way up to upper intermediate. She's currently working on self-study, and she gained the confidence to go from the production assistant to stock controller. We have Judo, yay, Judo, who moved from pre-intermediate to upper intermediate, gained the confidence to at first start presenting at trainings, Lush showcases, and then moving to R&D. And Aga Gale, who started pre-intermediate and moved up to intermediate. Justina Wierzynska, she from GIFs, she started at pre-intermediate, she's currently at high intermediate. Piotr Rakskowski, who started at intermediate, moved to upper intermediate, gained confidence using English in different departments, and now he's in the office in filling and dairy. Milena, his partner, Novasian, not sure about the pronunciation, started intermediate and moved to upper intermediate, gained confidence public speaking, and moved into the office at Bubbles, and when she's not on maternity leave. Gabriela Francisco, formerly from Bubbles, she started at high intermediate, moved to advanced, where she then gained the confidence to move into Lush's legal team. We have Yoli Kovacs. She started at elementary and from gifts, and now she's like a pre-intermediate, intermediate. We have Paulina Lachman, who started at beginner elementary, and she's moved into intermediate now. We have Joanna Kalande from EB, who's on maternity at the moment. She started at intermediate, moved her way up to high intermediate. Sandra Kloss started at intermediate, moved to upper intermediate, and while doing her English lessons, she moved into her office position, gained the confidence for her email writing and all those skills. Attila from Ballistics, he started at elementary and he's currently in pre-intermediate. Marek Gorski from Gifts, he started at pre-intermediate and has moved into high intermediate. Natalia Mevzina started in intermediate, moved to upper intermediate. Maria Kononenko from Dairy started in intermediate, moved to upper intermediate. Pavel Debkowski from Soaps started in beginner and has moved to elementary. Slavik Lazek started pre-intermediate and moved up to intermediate. Evgeny Eugene, formerly of Dispatch, now in ECs, started in intermediate and currently in high intermediate. And Mikaela Kudlikova started in intermediate and moved to upper intermediate. So those are just some of the shout outs I wanted to give to students who've done multiple courses and have really done the extra work to make the progress of that moving up a level, the 120 hours. They've put it in somehow, yeah? And we know it's not always realistic for students to commit to class time because of their family commitments and other outside obligations for work. So this is why we're continuing to support these with the use of the bulletin boards and Schoology, which is an online website and app that's a virtual learning environment for self-study. We currently have 79 students signed up for Schoology who receive links weekly to websites with video tutorials, language practice, reading resources, local links to community activities they can join and practice English. There are links with some of the best learning resources. It's like I curate the web for what I think works best, yeah. Things from BBC Learning English, English for the Workplace, British Council English Learning Resources, games they can play, TV shows, movie scripts, audio books, podcasts. There are links to full self-study course where a staff member could essentially teach themselves anything they need to know. The benefit of these online resources is the diversification, right? There's something for every type of learning style. And in 2019, there have been 48 different links posted. So also the worksheets on the bulletin boards bring the staff members of different nationalities together in the break rooms. They practice their conversation questions together. They explain idioms to each other. Everyone enjoys a word search, whether it's your first language or your second language. And word searches are great for improving spelling and vocabulary building. The English staff and more advanced English speakers help other staff members with lower English levels with the worksheets that are on the tables, and it's great because everyone can teach each other. In 2019, so far, there have been 48 different worksheets on vocabulary, grammar, reading, listening, interviewing skills, writing, conversation skills. And we also know that students who used to do the lessons but don't have time anymore, have continued improving their English with the bulletin board. Just so you know a little bit about what I do in the class, it's all about matching the class syllabus, the materials, the activities for the staff's needs. So at the beginning of each semester, each group, we do a needs assessment. I get their level tests, and the students help design their course and give input with what their personal goals are. Some common goals that students have are to be able to write work emails, to be able to understand and speak in meetings, to be able to speak clearly so people understand them, to their coworkers and outside of work. To be able to have the correct vocabulary to talk about things they're interested in, to have confidence to use the English they know, to not be afraid to make mistakes, to know enough English grammar so they can use it confidently, and to get feedback to correct their common mistakes, and to be able to give presentations is often a common goal as well. So with the students' email writing practice in lessons, we provide resources of different phrases for different email functions so they can always be confident they're getting their points across clearly and professionally. We work on the vocabulary and the correct grammar to make polite requests and soften language for giving feedback to others, so that there aren't those culture bumps or language bumps where someone says something that comes across as harsh. We like to teach how to soften language so it's easier to receive. We work on listening skills using a variety of resources. We use videos, music, English learning textbooks, audios. Self-recordings is a very effective technique we use where students record themselves, listen back, write down, and they can notice their own mistakes. They also practice listening to real-life English on videos or in recordings, and they write out the transcripts so they can notice and learn from those as well. We use TED Talks, we use debate topics. We use these to get students to be confident in expressing their opinions, agreeing, disagreeing, which is not always the easiest thing to do. Students give presentations within their small groups and within the class to get confident speaking in front of others. As a teacher, I always correct mistakes as far as grammar, pronunciation, choice of word, or context goes. I think it's helpful for the student, but it's also helpful for the whole class. If we can learn from one mistake, then everyone can learn from it. With vocabulary building, we teach word families, so not just the noun, but the related words in the other parts of speech. So for example, the word happy, we don't just learn happy, we learn happiness, happily, happier. Then this increases the connections, making it easier to retrieve the vocabulary later. We use brain-based learning techniques like taking quick dance breaks to get the oxygen going, to get smiles going. We do think, pair, share activities, speed dating, conversation practice lines, small group presentations, workbook exercises. We flip the classroom so that the students become the teachers. We give them the information to study for homework, and then they come in and teach their peers. And then we work on the practice where they've missed mistakes or what parts they haven't quite got. Every class we check in together so that everyone really gets to know each other and feel close and safe to take risks in their new language, because we know that you can't separate language from the whole person, so we bring their whole big, interesting lives into the classroom. So that's my little check-in with you guys, the managers, and it's been great to see you around as I visit with with the bulletin boards, and I hope you can say hi and we keep moving and helping the staff improve their English. Okay, have a good day.